once it starts moving, there's really nothing that's going to stop it.
Mudslides in the U.S. cost billions of dollars every year, yet they often go unnoticed by the public unless deaths or heavy damage are reported. Mudslides tend to happen so quickly, it's not often they're captured on video. But in 1996 in Portland, Oregon, Starson Holman and his father Bob found themselves chased through a residential neighborhood by a raging one.
And all of a sudden this big, huge chunk of the hill actually broke off and then started coming down onto the road.
You got it? Yeah, look at that.
And it started moving towards us, and that's when we said, well, we better get out of here.
Go right across the road. Look at Deer Park right there. Whoa!
As a mudslide bears down on them, the Holmans desperately try to flee in their truck.
Get in the back of my truck! Get in the back of my truck!
I started actually pushing this truck down the hill, and the mudslide and a truck is now chasing us.
Keep going, keep going!
The sound was just insane. You had all the tires, the 4 tires of the truck, sideways, just squealing down the road, and then the rumble of the earth behind it, and then the metal of the cars just being crunched and thrown off into the houses. It was just completely insane.
After a surreal and terrifying chase, the mudslide finally loses momentum. The Holmans were unharmed. As we know, many of the residents in Oso had no time to escape. On that Saturday morning, Natasha Hustis left her mother, Christine Jeffords, to babysit her 4-month-old baby Sanoa while she was out doing errands. The house was demolished when the mudslide came roaring into town. Jeffords, a loving wife, mother, and grandmother, was the first victim to be publicly identified.
My mom, she was a beautiful woman. All she ever wanted for anyone was peace and love and harmony.
Baby Sanoa had vanished beneath the rubble.
When do you stop searching for your baby?
Don't. Never.
It's almost a week before the infant is found. Her body is just 10 feet from her grandmother. She is the youngest victim to be recovered so far. In an instant, Natasha and her father, Seth Jeffords, lose almost everything.
I turn around and come over. And it's all gone. Neighborhood. Why? Yeah, trailer. I love them so much.
Amid all the heartache, many wonder whether the tragedy could have been prevented. Because mudslides have occurred here in the past, the land is even more vulnerable. Following a mudslide in 2006, the Washington State Department of Transportation built a retaining wall to help stabilize the hill. The wall, completed just a year and a half ago, was swept away in a recent disaster. Knowing that the region is prone to mudslides has caused some, including geomorphologist Daniel Miller, to question why residents continue to inhabit the area.
After a portion of the road and several houses had already been destroyed by a type of landslide that had occurred repeatedly over a single person's lifespan, it seemed like not a good idea to build there again.
Even before 2006, Miller issued a warning. In 1999, he wrote a report for the Army Corps of Engineers after studying sediment flow around the Stillaguamish River. It predicted catastrophic failure in the area, but it's unclear how widely disseminated his report was.
I don't know if the people here have the information available to them or not. So I do these reports, then the report gets filed away someplace, but it's not readily available for homeowners or for other interested parties to find.
Should people be prohibited from living in such a potentially dangerous location? 4 days after the disaster, Miller appears with MSNBC's Rachel Maddow to discuss his report.
Do you think there is a reasonable public policy case to make that governments should use the
think
kind
they
of
die a
data
lot. I
that
think they're just
you provided,
stuck
for
under the
example,
ground with the.
to say that
They
this
found a
area
dog
will be
alive.
zoned in such a way that it's not fit for human habitation?
I think we do have a responsibility to ensure that everyone is aware
You don't know
of
yet.
the level of risk, of the consequences of something happening, so that they make informed decisions about the risk that they take.
County officials insist the people living in the area had been previously cautioned about the possibility of mudslides.
We've done everything we could to protect them. We've mitigated the landslide from 2006. There's been warnings and advance notifications of the high risk for landslides.
But some residents say they were never told of the dangers of living below the ridge.
Nobody warned anybody. We had no knowledge. We bought that place specifically because it was a quarter-mile from the river and it was up on a bench above flood level. There is nothing that should have hurt us there.
With the human and financial cost of the tragedy just starting to come into focus, the tiny town of Oso will continue to be tested. Along the way, they will summon remarkable strength and resilience. Coming up, responders try coping with both the weather and the trauma.
It happened so unexpectedly, and I think people right now are still at the point of kind of coming to grips.
Amazing. I've been Claritin Clear for 6 days. At the first sign of my allergies, my doctor recommended